folks. Welcome back to the show. And as you know, every single week, I love to highlight and spotlight an amazing nonprofit for our Give More to Get More segment. Why? Because I truly don't believe you can get more in life without giving more. And what better way to bring this concept to light than to feature a nonprofit and an individual who's doing some amazing work here locally. My guest today is Amy Fass, who is the executive director at Shoes That Fit. In fact, she was recently named Claremont's Community Hero and has lived in Claremont and worked in the nonprofit management and development space for over 20 years. When the opportunity to lead Shoes That Fit came about in 2014, Amy knew that the organization was a good fit for her, and she was very proud to take on that challenge. Before that, she'd been a consultant for Shoes That Fit since 2008. She's began her career at Pomona College, served as director of foundation and corporate relations there. She then worked for the University of California, Berkeley. Go Bears! Securing major gifts for the campus's $1.2 billion campaign. She's been very active in the local community since then, doing a lot of amazing things. She's here to talk about her story and the mission of Shoes That Fit. Good morning, Amy. Welcome to the Financial Wake Up Show. How are you today?
I'm wonderful. Thank you, Daniel.
Well, I'm certainly very excited to learn more about your organization. Let's start with the overall mission of your organization. Tell the listeners and us about what you all do.
Well, Shoes That Fit provides brand new athletic shoes to low-income children throughout the United States. We work through schools. The schools identify the children who are most in need, but we have come to learn that shoes are one of the most expensive items for low-income families to provide, and kids who don't have decent shoes, who don't have any shoes, some of them, they're borrowing with the one little boy wearing his grandmother's shoes to school. It causes enormous embarrassment and shame and really makes it hard for them to thrive. So our mission is to make sure that these kids get shoes.
I think that's such a wonderful cause. I have two young boys, as many listeners know, and they're both in sports, and the shoes are expensive, and they do need to not only fit, but help them perform well. And there is that embarrassment factor you talked about.
Yeah.
Amy, tell us a little bit about the history of your organization. How did you start and evolve into the organization you are today?
Well, we just finished had our 25th anniversary last year, so we've been around 25 years. We were started by a wonderful woman. Her name was Elodie McGurk, used to be Elodie Silva, who worked at Harvey Mudd College. She heard about a little boy at a school in Pomona who had been acting out, and he was sent to the principal's office, and it turned out that his toes had been turned under to make them fit into his shoes. So he was in a lot of pain and really embarrassed. The most horrifying part of the story is they took the shoes off, massaged his feet, but they had to put the shoes back on because you cannot go to school barefoot. It's not legal.
Wow.
She was really horrified when she heard the story and decided she wanted to make a difference. So that's really how we started. We started with one little boy in Pomona. Within 2 weeks, she had raised shoes for about 40 kids at the school because they found there really was an enormous need. And we really took off like wildfire.
Well, hearing that story and how you all started, it's a simple concept, but I'm sure it's a lot more complex than we might imagine. What are the areas that Shoes That Fit provide support, and who specifically are you targeting with that support?
Well, we're in 46 states right now. Southern California remains our largest service area, and it really is a focus a lot of what we do. But as the word has gotten out, we have chapters across the country. We have individuals who are adopting schools. We also have some large corporate programs. Nordstrom's our biggest sponsor. We work with DaVita Healthcare. We work with NBA stars like Chris Paul and DeAndre Jordan. So we work at all sorts of different levels. I call us a national grassroots organization because we are national, but our focus is on helping people help children in their own backyards, and we match up volunteers with schools in their own community. So we really start with the volunteers we can raise, whether it be corporate volunteers or individuals. They can raise the shoes themselves and deliver them to the school, or they can give us money, and we can purchase shoes more cheaply, actually, than most individuals can, and we can deliver the shoes directly to the schools. But we start with schools. We don't work with individuals, and it's the schools who identify the kids who are most in need. So our donors know that the shoes are really going to kids who need them.
That's fantastic. And 46 states. Uh, really amazing to see the penetration that you guys are getting there. My next question, you kind of touched on a little bit with your answer, but what are some of the areas where you all could use some help? How do our listeners get involved if they feel moved by your cause?
Well, they should just contact us directly. And I would say that there are three, I always tell people there are just three things we need to make a simple, concrete difference in a child's life. We need people, we need shoes, and we need money. And people can give one, two, or all three of them. We do have a warehouse here in Southern California, so people can donate shoes directly to us. Good new athletic shoes, and then we kind of serve as the volunteers to hand out the shoes. But as I mentioned, we have a great relationship with some wholesalers, and we're very good at leveraging the resources we have in terms of getting donations. So people can give us money, and we can buy shoes for the kids. And then we are looking for volunteers. Again, whether it's a Rotary Club, a book group, or if you have a company that you want to do something with your employees and adopt a school. Um, that's what we're looking for. We just want to help more kids. We right now, just to let you know, we have 373 schools who have contacted us that we do not have sponsors for.
Wow.
Over 100 of them are in Southern California, so we really are desperate to reach them. So we're looking for all the support we can get.
Over 370 schools that need
Yes.
sponsorship. That is a
Those
large
are just
number.
the ones who have heard about us and contacted us. With 16 million kids in the U.S. living in poverty, the need is enormous. So as while we are very proud of our growth, we also know we're scratching the surface. So we are in a full-on growth mode to reach more children. And I believe most people want to make a difference. And I think we give people a really simple, concrete way that they can do something meaningful with the money that they have earned or the time that they have. And it's really, I think it's a really lovely program.
Yeah, absolutely. Can you share as the executive director what you see in the future of your organization? You mentioned you've kind of just hit the cusp of the surface, but what's your ultimate vision over the next few years for Shoes That Fit?
Well, in the next few years, in the next, I'd say 3 to 4 years, we want to double the number of kids we're serving. So we'd like to be at over 200,000 kids. But really, I just look at that at the beginning. And I think, to me, growth is like a snowball. You get it going, and it kind of takes off. So I want to see us reaching all of the kids in this country. I think in a country as prosperous and positive as ours, we shouldn't have any kids who can't go to shoes or are being bullied because of the shoes that they're wearing. So my goal is to reach all of them.
I think that's. Did you say 200,000 kids is your goal? How many are you servicing
That's
right
our goal
now?
in the next three to 4 years. Yes.
How many are you servicing right now?
Last year, 2017, we're still closing our numbers, but we were at over 108,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is really, really fantastic. And we've had organizations on the show regarding bullying and how important that is in terms of handling that properly, especially at younger ages. What is the age group that Shoes That Fit targets in terms of the support?
We work with kids K through 12, so kindergarten through 12th graders. As long as they're in school, those are the kids that we're working with. And we do think we're an important piece of the puzzle. Bullying is a very complex, difficult issue, but as is poverty. And we're just a very concrete piece of the puzzle that people can really make a difference in a child's life. Um, I was going to tell you, too, I know you're based in San Bernardino. We helped about over 7,000 kids in San Bernardino and Riverside County last year. Enormous need in that area. So we would love any supporters you have in that area to help us reach more kids.
Sure. Definitely San Bernardino and those of you also listening in Orange County and LA and even the Bay Area.
Yes.
Can you share, one of my favorite questions to ask is what's been the most rewarding aspect of your involvement with Shoes That Fit since 2008, really, when you were a consultant with them? What's been the most rewarding aspect for you?
I'd say there are two things. The one thing we ask for kids, we do not require it, but we do ask them to write a thank you note, and then we pass those thank you notes off back to the people who have sponsored the schools, just so they can see the impact they've made. Reading those thank you notes, they will make you laugh, they will make you cry. The spelling can be atrocious at times, but the heart in it, and just hearing from the kids' words themselves of what a difference it's made, both for them, but often they talk about their parents who have really struggled to provide for them and how their parents are so happy. Those thank you notes just make my life. But the other thing I love is the people we work with and the volunteers and the donors who I really do believe most people want to make a difference, and giving them an opportunity to do something very concrete and seeing the look on their faces. When we do big deliveries, sometimes we have donors who come and watch that. If it's a small delivery, we keep it very private because we're really all about the dignity of the child. But if we're doing an entire school, um, seeing the look on the donor's face when they watch these kids opening the shoes is just I love my job. I'm kind of spoiled for anything else. I just love what I do.
Sure. I can imagine the looks on the children's faces and the thank you notes. It sounds incredibly heartwarming. How do we get in contact with your organization? You mentioned reaching out directly, whether it be volunteerism or money or just donations. How do we get in contact with you?
But the easiest way is just to go on our website, which is www.choosesthatfit.org, and look around. You'll see opportunities for volunteers, individuals, companies. So you can read a little bit about us, and you can contact us through that. Our phone number here at the office is 909-482-0050. So feel free to call us, email us through the website, and let us know how you would like to help, and we'd love to work with you.
Wow, that sounds amazing. Again, 46 states now, 25-year anniversary with 108,000 students helped in 2017. I think it's just fantastic to hear, and I'm glad we're able to bring to the airways some awareness around Shoes That Fit. Amy, thank you so much for spending your Saturday morning with us. I hope you have a good weekend.
Thank you, Daniel. I really appreciate your interest.
And just like all guests on the Financial Wake Up Show, Amy and the organization Shoes That Fit will be on the Give More to Get More tab of the website financialwakeupshow.com, where you can find all the information you need to get in touch with them in case you weren't able to write that down.